All right. Shalom, shalom, and shalom, Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this Deborah platform with another message. I will say this is a lovely, lovely evening in which the Most High Yah has made. And I, Sister Deborah, shall and I will rest therein. If you only knew the rest that the Most High have spoke about and regarding. A lot of us think the rest is the Sabbath. There is a greater rest than the Sabbath. Let me say that again. There is a greater rest than the Sabbath. And I thank the Father for allowing me to have his understanding teaching me. Because had not it been for his ruach that lives in me, I wouldn't be able to know what I know and have the understanding of the things which is not understood. So I just thank the Father for his spirit residing in me to give me the fullness of the whole matter. And I just, like I say, I just thank him and him only. It's not something I gained or I got or anything of that nature. And it's time to talk. Okay. You can talk in or you can talk out. In mean on live or out of the live. I don't know how you can talk that way unless you're talking to each other. But Sister Deborah is going to try to cover somewhat of what I had learned this morning. And it was so beautiful. But it's also, I noticed that when the Father teaches me something, it's like he go on top of it. He teaches me, he revealed to me what he have taught me, but he goes so high above what I had or have known. And I love that because I'm like, what would make him choose me as an individual to spread abroad things that has been held as mystery, things that has not been preached in all these millions of churches and all these synagogues and all these temples and all these camps and all these schools of learning. But yet he comes to a little woman like me and he shares things with me from the inside out. And the reason why I say inside out, because when he revealed things to me, it's like a conversation he's having with my spirit. And as his spirit is teaching my spirit, my flesh is like, oh, wow, getting it in the flesh. You see, I don't allow my flesh to override my spirit because I know that that's where the Ruach reside, which is the spirit of the creator. He reside in me. So therefore, if he is in me, where is he at? He's in my spirit and my spirit is in his. And we are one. So I can afford to allow my flesh have dominion over the learning and the teaching of the Ruach within me. Oh, that flesh got to stand down. And it knows it. But it also get excited in new revelation. It's not that it's new, but it's new to the flesh because it's trying to figure out, well, wait a minute, I didn't know that. Oh, wow, that's powerful. You know, it really submit to the spirit that rests there in my spirit and my spirit in him. He said, we abide as one. So as he was teaching me, and I was doing my sums, and he was teaching me, and I had already completed. I was writing first, and I got into this thing about Holy One and saints, and I got so deep in it out of nowhere. So I know that it was the Spirit of the Most High Yah taking me a place I have not gone, and I loved it. I loved it. I really enjoyed it because he took me out of the word saints. Okay. And he took me where it originated from. It did not come from saints. That's an English, a worldly, not a worldly, but I say the English way. But he took me to a place where I can understand what was taken out. And even though holy was taken out as Holy One, even that itself, holy itself, is a word that also have been, how would I say, tampered with. Okay. So as he began to teach me and show me, I found myself back to where I always reside. And that's from the beginning. He showed me how powerful the beginning was and is and shall be. And many have not even turned their faces toward this direction. And the Father was explaining to me, it's not that it is a new revelation. It is a word brought more to the light for me, you see. So as he was teaching me this word saints, it was at one time meaning Holy One. So then we had to go back and find Holy One. What does that detail, or what does that consist of? And as I saw that the word holy actually mean set apart, consecrated, set apart, consecrated. Okay. And the word one mean Kadesh. Kadesh. One mean Kadesh. And holy mean set apart and consecrated. So one mean Kadesh in Hebrew, okay? But it means one, okay? Kadesh means one, and one mean Kadesh, okay? But in holy, it means consecrated, set apart. So what is missing here is many things. If you only understand that the Ruach is the spirit, and Hak Kadesh, Hak mean the, Kadesh mean one. Okay? So Kadesh mean one, and one mean Kadesh. Hak mean the. So the spirit the one, the spirit is after the one, and the one is Kadesh. That's who the spirit is coming for. Hak Kadesh. Hak Kadesh means, Hak mean the, Kadesh mean one. I'm coming for the one. So what the Father was showing me is that the word holy means set apart, consecrated. So when my spirit comes, I'm coming for Hak Kadesh. Okay? This is where we hear in Hebrew who? The Ruach HaKodesh. HaKodesh means the one. But if the Ruach means the spirit, and Hak means the, and Kodesh means one, that's telling you that the spirit is coming for the one. When he was showing that to me, I said, it matches knowing that heaven had already sealed his as the what? Hak Kodesh, the one, which means the Holy One, set apart, holy ones. Holy one. Just put it like that. Consecrated. Those that are consecrated. So his spirit is coming to abide in those that already are the one. I know y'all couldn't get that, and I don't know if y'all got that, but it is so beautiful the way he broke it down to me. And then I went into it and I said, wait a minute now. I know heaven has written. A lot of you all might not really believe, but heaven has everything wrote in and wrote out. This way, when we say us as the 5-4 ministry, as they say, and I go from, let's go from apostle, I don't want to leave out the priest, the apostle, the prophet, the evangelist, the pastor, the teachers, and all others that comes to work in the body of Hamashiach. If we come into the body of Hamashiach not knowing all of this that is being revealed, and like I said, this is why he said knowledge is going to increase. But he never warned us that it would be spiritual knowledge. But we should have known that. If he speak of knowledge being increased, we have to also know that there's two knowledge. The knowledge of the natural and the knowledge of the spirit. Did he have to warn us of the natural? No, because we're living in it. You see, we see it. We're going to feel that natural knowledge of the flesh. Okay, we're seeing it. But his warning for the knowledge being increased, he wanted us to know in the spirit realm, the knowledge that was the mystery that rests therein shall increase in the end day. Okay, so here when I realized that, okay, Father, you are the spirit. And HaKodesh is actually saying the one. But when you look at saints, we're called the holy ones. You see what I'm saying? Which means set apart. So he is bringing his spirit to those that has, not that they have it, it's already embedded in them, HaKodesh. When we're thinking that, okay, the Ruach is the Ruach HaKodesh, they're not gripping that HaKodesh is coming to embody. He's bringing his spirit, which is the Ruach, into the saints, which are HaKodesh. You see? So I'm like saying, wait a minute, that matches the beginning. It's going back to predestined. It's going back to foreknew you, going back to before you was in your mother's womb. Okay, predestined, ordained before the foundation of the world. Words that have identified that the heavens had already orchestrated everything. But we, as humans in the flesh, reject the fact that his power has created the beginning to the end, and we reject it because we want the power and the authority to have some say-so in the way we teach it, the way we preach it, and the way we put it out, so that he who created all things receive not the glory. And we have done that. We have done it, even to today, more so than any time period. We sit and we want to call ourselves awakened. So much light is clearly seen. The darkness is recognized. It's showing up and showing out. But yet, what happened along the line that in this midnight hour in which we are in, where all this destruction already in the land, we see it. We still are not claiming the light. We're still not talking regarding the light, who Yah is and who Yah is in us. We so in tune with, oh, I'm going when he comes. I'm going to be one he come to get. I'm getting out of here. He's taking us here. We're so in tune with the teaching of, okay, we're getting out of here. And do you all know that many are going to move out? Many are going to come out of Babylon, okay? Many, but more are going to be purged to the journey to the promised land. They're not going to make it, you all. Nowhere near it. You see, Yah himself is going to purge. Why? He's coming for his that is Hakadosh. He is the spirit, Hakadosh, or the holy ones. You see, that's who he become oneness in. He's coming for those, just like I told you before. The one that's going to be brought from the four corners. And if when you get to the promised land, and I always used to say, why don't they teach that? Because why is it you're going to wait till they get to the promised land before you do any cleaning up, Father Yah? Well, what's the deal with that? Well, what's the deal with waiting till you get to there, till we get way there, some odd years before we get cleaned up by the Most High Yah in the Holy Land? Why so long after 400, way past 400 years? Why so long? Because it has to be purged out. The rebels, I would say, those who are going to get on the bandwagon and get out and thinking that, oh, the promised land is for us because this is we the people, we the this, we the that, we the that. And they have no idea that the same one that left them in the wilderness to die is the same one going to leave them on the journey to the promised land. But see, they don't teach this because no one feels that nothing is important, but that I hear, I feel, I embrace, I accept that he's coming for us and we getting out. So this could be the reason why many people give the people exactly what they want. But I come to tell you, I am truly, I don't even say truly, I don't need to justify, clarify, and identify who I am. I am a child of the Most High Yah, servant. And I come to give it the way the Ruach, which is the spirit, give it to my Hakadosh. You see? Because this is how he himself have created it. Once we look at him and see his glory and see his power and see how he has orchestrated it, then we would get it a little bit better than we have. But our journey out of here, because I said, why is it says in Deuteronomy, we're going to be cursed going in and cursed coming out. As if curse still going to be on us. Because it is, you guys. Coming out don't mean out of Babylon. Don't forget, it got to be the four corners. So if there's four corners where he's going to bring Israel out, then bringing you out don't mean he's bringing you out of the curse. You're being brought out of where you've been held captive. Do that make sense? So while we're thinking that, okay, we're made captives and he's come to get us and we're going to have it, no. A lot, and I hate to say it like this, but I think a lot of those that have taught this thing, they know that there's a journey. And that journey said, we're going to be cursed, coming in and going out. Let me see if I can find it so I won't be saying it the wrong way. I'm going to bring that in so I can say it the way it is said. Okay, and I don't want, and this is what it says in Deuteronomy 28 and verse 16. Cursed shall thou be in the city, and cursed shall thou be in the field. Cursed shall thou be thy basket and thy store. Verse 18. Cursed shall the fruit of thy body and the fruit of thy land. And increase of thy kin, and the flock of thy sheep. Now listen to this. Listen to verse 19. This is the key. Cursed thou shall thou be when thou cometh in. Cometh in. So a lot of them don't teach you that you were cursed the moment they seize and you begin to see your land destroyed. You were cursed in, baby. It wasn't when you got over here to the four corners. You see? It says, cursed shall thou be when thou cometh in. When thou cometh in. You're going to be cursed when you come in. So that means you were cursed before. Because you're coming in. And watch this here. And cursed shall thou be when thou goeth out. So what a lot of people don't understand, that journey to the promised land makes more sense as a means of purging and separating. That's why you still cursed coming out as you were cursed going in. Because another thing I'm going to tell you all, and it's kind of, and I'm going to go on and use the word sadden, because it's sad that even to today, it's a refusal to teach the truth. And the truth is this: if you would go back and do the reading of the siege of Israel, of the land, and you see how the bodies were left there for eagles and birds to eat off of, and I'm talking about Israel, their land, and how they were being hunted down and killed, and how Africa was the closest place they could run to, and Africa had its own tribal and everything they had there. So they was using those that was coming over as slaves. You see, no one is really teaching it out of the level of what is truth. And that's why I think it's kind of saddened, because people have gotten so content with the lie that they care not to even hear the truth. Because the truth, they don't want to hear. And even if it takes them to try to cover it and make as if it does not exist by blaming those who are teaching it, then it makes sense why those who are not teaching it won't teach it. You see, it's because the people don't want the truth. And the truth would be, if you learned what took place on your promised land when Yah put the seal on you for what you done, it will blow your mind and say, wait a minute, all this was going on over here is happening. That's what you would think. All because they don't want you to know how the right hand of the Father dealt with Israel. They don't want you to know. They want you to only know what the people done to them while they were in captivity. They reject the idea of letting you know, well, wait a minute, what happened before then? No one would talk about the things that West Africa and how all those Israelites ran over and how they were treated and how they was done. Africa brags about it, but Israel still can't see no wrong in Africa and what they did. It's impossible for every country on the four corners to give reparation and leave out Africa. Africa owes big time to Israel, but Israel is looking at the color of the melanated skin and saying, "Oh, these are our people. Yes, we still got people still left over there, but we can't claim the whole continent as Israel." Israel has still not realized you have to separate yourself from the people of Ham. Okay, but they can't seem to do that. Why? Because they color stuck on stupid. I put it like that. And they don't understand that I myself, as a prophetess in the wilderness, will not think to ask no one on the four corners for reparations until Africa pays the first fee. So what happens? Africa decides, and they're fighting it right now in the court. They are fighting for reparations as if they are entitled. And yes, they are entitled because the Europeans and China, and they have been over there sending all diseases and everything is taking over there and destroying them as people. They have been doing things to them and they entitled to reparations. But the reparations that they feel that they're entitled to, they are entitled. Let me say that. They are entitled. They are entitled. But how long must evil and wicked be entitled to something when they match the same evil and wicked of those who have wickedly wronged them? You did the same thing, but you did it to what you would call the people of Yah. And they don't see nothing wrong, none whatsoever, because we're the same melanated. So I noticed that Israel will not speak truth in this end days. And I'm so glad that the Father gave me another way out. And that was to do my sons, because it brought me to a level of being able to bring out all the teaching, everything he has put in me, and start bringing it out, putting it down. And as I'm putting it down, the Ruach is speaking to me, and I'm just, woo, and it's feeling so good. And at the same time, he's transferring things in me as if I'm going somewhere. I'm serious. That's just how much food in the spirit that the Ruach is downloading in me. So when you get to Deuteronomy 28, he talks about, in verse 19, cursed shall thou be when thou comest in, and cursed shall thou be when thou goeth out. I think that to believe that coming out of Babylon, coming out of the four corners mean the curse is completed, no way. I think that the Father has, like he has a beginning of thing. I think he has an end. And I think the whole end game to Deuteronomy 28 is we must be destroyed at the level of his destroy, not ours. And this is another reason why I say it is saddened that the destroy that he speaks of is one that is different from what we will consider destroy. And from the level of what I'm seeing, our people looking at destroy as something, oh, so bad, as if they have not gone through anything, nor their ancestors. Why? Because they have not read. They have not sat down with the Ruach and hear what he has to teach them and show them and reveal things to them, because they think that it's better I know not than to know. It's better that you sing me songs that I enjoy, that I find pleasure in, or that comfort me on my outer man, so I can continue to run in my inner man alive. And the truth be told is, it's over. We in the end days. And whether you embrace what is righteous or what is truth, or whether you embrace the lie and the deception, it's all over, you guys. Now, here he was showing me that the one that are the Holy One, which they have the word saints, saints cannot carry holy to me. Because I think that holy is so powerful to me. And as I, like I said, and as I did the search, it means set apart, consecrated. That means who did that? Who consecrated? Who set apart? Heaven. What sister been telling y'all all the time. Heaven knows who's who and what's what. While we're thinking it's new things under the sun, oh, I'm learning something new. Oh, I didn't know that. No, baby. These are things that always exist, but because we desire and refuse to hear truth and rather hear a lie that pleases and pleasures our comfort of our flesh, then y'all say, let them stand where they stand, because that also explains who they are. Now, what I learned is when you get to Revelation chapter 7, I had a connection to it, and I thought it was beautiful, because if Yah is the Ruach, which is the spirit, Hakadash, Hak mean the, Kadash mean one. And if we are the Holy One, and holy mean set apart, consecrated. Now, how do set apart and consecrate equals saints? How did they get that? How did it get from holy ones to saints? From meaning holy mean consecrated and set apart, and one mean Kadesh. How did we get from there to saints? This is the work of man, placing words, going back to what I was saying, to please your flesh, to assure your flesh to live on believing the lie. Okay, so when I get into Revelation chapter 7, and what I'm learning here in Revelation chapter 7, when the Father is speaking to this angel, and he's saying some things to them, and this is what he was teaching me. We are the holy ones, which are the consecrated, set apart. Who set us apart, Father Yah? Who set us apart? Did the heavens set us apart? Yes, Deborah. We are already set apart on this earth from the kingdom, as Sister Deborah told you all the time. That's what I explained to you all. What he does is he don't remove anything from what he teaches me. He just get on top of it. And I just meet him where he at, not where I'm at, but where he at. You see? So understanding that saints can't even put you in the spirit of the word HaKadosh, because we thinking Ruach HaKadosh. The Ruach means spirit, okay? HaKadosh means the one. The spirit of Yah comes for the one, you see? And because they put saints there, We're thinking that we are the church and the church is the saints, which is still, it still can fit in, but saints cannot hold the Ruach HaKodesh. He's showing us how we are one already from the kingdom in him. Already. Now, when I got to Revelation chapter 7, it reads, Revelation chapter 7, it reads, and after these things, I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind shall not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on the tree, or on any tree. Now, these 4 angels that's on the 4 corners, they have a mission. The mission and the power has been given to them to hurt the earth, the wind to blow on the earth. That means the sea, the ground, the hurricanes, floods, wind, tornadoes. This is their mission, y'all, from the word, from the word, from the kingdom. I'm trying to get y'all to see how no matter how you want to feel, the feeling that you might have in you is a feeling of only wanting to hear the things of your flesh, to live under the positive things of your flesh, and not wanting to come to the light of your spirit of the truth of the whole matter. I would rather want to know if I'm walking in a door where someone is waiting for me than to walk in the door not wanting to know that what is inside waiting for me. I want to know because I can do something about before I go in. But if I don't want to know, then I just go in and whatever they're waiting for me, that's just it. Well, that's how it is. The Father is saying to me that people want to walk in the room as it is, darkness. They don't want any light. They don't want to be warned. They just want to walk in and say, what is it? I cross that bridge when I get there. Not understanding that where you cross is where you're going to remain. Because from coming out of the 4 corners, we're going to be gathered. So we're going to be coming out of every area, right? We're going to be gathered. To do what? Take a journey, y'all, to where? The promised land. And during that travel, y'all is going to be purging the rebels. You see? Now that's, to me, as a prophetess in the wilderness, whether I live or die, that is the perfect thing to do. It's because the journey is not about we the people, we the Jews, we the true this, we the true that. It's about journeying to what we are entitled to. Because Yah is waiting for us. People who are doing things here in the land of their captives, it's just like the migrants. 99 trillion don't get what Revelation 18 tell you. They're going to be pouring in. They're going to be pouring into Babylon. And they're going to be what did he say? He said they're going to be, let me tell you exactly what he said. But do people listen to that? No. I sit back and say the world really don't listen to you, do they, Father? He said no. And it's not meant for them to. See, Revelation chapter 18 and verse 2. He said Revelation chapter 18 and verse 2. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, why is this angel crying with a mighty strong voice? He's trying to make a statement. To who? To Sister Deborah. To Sister Deborah. Why? Because the ones that are the holy ones, that are the Hakadesh, are the one in which this book is speaking to. You see, this book is speaking to give us an uphead on some things that the Spirit in us has already warned us. You see? Now watch what it says. Revelation chapter 18 and verse 2. And he cried mightily with a strong voice. And with me, somebody like me ain't got no sense. I'll be in the wilderness asking the Father, why is he crying so strong and so mighty? Because in my mind, it don't take all that, do it? Oh, yes, it does, Deborah. To those that are of minds, they need to separate the things in which I reveal unto them from what the world feeds them. So it says here, he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is falling, and is become, a habitation of devils, and the holding of every foul spirit, and cage of every unclean, hateful bird. That means every sort of evil on the face of the earth is coming one place. Oh, Father, I'm in trouble here. Ooh. Every form of wicked and evil and Satan's powers are coming to rest in one place until what? Until it is destroyed. Coming right here on this land here. Until it is destroyed. Now, when I see the migrants coming in, then this is it. Not because America wasn't already full of demons and devils. No, it's telling you right here. It says here, habitations of devils, and a holding of foul spirits, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. He's letting you know that the dominion, the whole territory of Babylon. Now, some people say, well, Babylon's just not in United States. Wherever it's at, if it's here in United States, I do know United States is fall. It has fallen. See, I knew that years ago. But way before 9/11, when they started doing that not bankruptcy, taking them people's home. Before that, more so like 2004. That's when they started falling, selling their people out, everything. So here, it's telling you what it's going to what? Become. What it's going to what? Become. And that's what it has become. Exactly what the Spirit of Yah has revealed. This is why they've taken every wicked and evil from every continent and country and bringing them straight into this country to fulfill this verse right here. I think that's powerful. That shows me how Yah can rumble and no one sees him. You see? So when I saw that, I just think how much people are blind to not wanting to know the reality of truth. They want you to say the things only that's going to soothe them. And when they get soothed and they get to a point where, this is what I've been waiting for, this is what I want, they get so detached to feeling that I don't want nothing else said but that which pleasures my flesh. They don't even understand. They have no direction to Yah when truth cannot penetrate. Only that which makes me feel good in my flesh to make me run on in what I think is my spirit. See, truth always was the key to being set free. Truth has always been the key to being set free. But you got to understand the truth in the twos. Which way do you want to be set free? In your flesh? Or do you want to be set free in your spirit? When you set free in your flesh, then you can't be set free in your spirit. But when you are set free in your spirit can set your flesh free with truth. You see? Because the flesh can't speak truth. It can't teach truth. It can't reveal truth. It can't pour out to you truth. But the spirit of who you are, it can do that. But when the flesh has set the pace for you and your spirit, that's the way you're going to go. Okay. So when I get to Revelation chapter 7, I'm listening to it say about the four angels on the four corners were told to hold up and not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, or on the trees. Meaning, hold up, don't move. Verse 2, Revelation chapter 7, verse 2. And I saw another angel ascending from the east. Now, having a seal of the living Yah. And he cried with a loud voice to the four angels to whom it was given. What was given to them? The power and the order to hurt the earth and the sea. Verse 3. What was this angel from the east said to the four angels? He said, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants. Notice you see servants of our Yah in their forehead. Okay? You know how I was explaining to you that saints is the holy ones. They are the Hakadash. That's who they are. Yah is the spirit. Remember it says Ruach Hakadash, Ruach Hakadash. But what the spirit was revealing to me, he is the spirit, but we are the Hakadash. I'm like, wait a minute, hold up. Yes, I don't need to. I'm one. Yah is one in all things. He was sitting there explaining to me how the Ruach is him. The Hak is the. Kadesh is one. He's coming, his spirit, to collect the one, to abide in the one, to reside in the one. Who is the one? HaKadosh. That's why we couldn't, I can't embrace saints in the way that I once embraced saints. I got to bring it into the fold. And what fold is that? The righteous, the truth. So now listen to this. Here are these angels in heaven. This one angel came to the four corners. We in Revelation chapter 7. And to tell the other four corners, hold up on your mission. Verse 3, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the tree, till we have sealed the servants. Notice he got servants as an S. So that let me know that whatever they're doing has nothing, it has no bearing on the mission in which he sent them to do, had to do with the flesh, sealing something on their flesh. Why? Because he called them servants. In Yah, he would have said servant. You see? Here he says servants of our Yah in their, they go there, foreheads with the S. So the forehead with the S doesn't mean spiritual forehead. It means your natural forehead. And when it says servant, it means the natural body. Okay, and not so much as the spiritual ones. It is speaking of the spiritual ones, but it's speaking of their body. So when you hear it says here in verse 3, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our Yah in their forehead. So what the Father was showing me, Deborah, here is they're going to put a seal on the flesh of the foreheads of who? The Hakadash. The one. The Holy One. You see? So these ones that they're sealing on the foreheads, they're hitting the flesh. So my question to the Most High Yah, which I already knew the answer, but I figured he was going to give me another answer, but he just told me the same thing. When I said, okay, I see here when I'm reading this, the servants showing me that you're dealing with the flesh. And then when you said the 4 heads, you're dealing with the flesh. But if it was spirit, a seal for the spirit, he would have said servant, or he would have had 4 head. You get what I'm saying? When it's not an S, that means it's the spiritual. Okay. But when it's an S, that means it's the flesh. So he's telling them to seal the flesh foreheads. Okay. And I heard the number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 140,000 of all tribes of the children of Israel. You notice it did not say in here only men. It does not say here that I could see that it said men only. Okay. Now, but what I do see here is the tribes, the 12 tribes, where you don't see Dan included. Notice Dan isn't here part of the tribe, but where is he? You get what I'm saying? See, people thinking that they can call the shots on the earth from the heaven. No, you can't. So what the Father was showing me is you still dealing, Deborah, with the spiritual seed. You're still dealing with the spiritual seed. But they are also not the saints. They are called the holy ones, which means the Hakadesh. I'm coming as the Spirit to abide in the Hakadesh. You see? So when I'm looking at this here and I'm saying, okay, we are the holy ones, but it calls it the Holy Spirit. It calls it the Holy Spirit. He says now holy means set apart. It means consecrated. I don't need to be set apart. I'm any and everything. I'm the I am. So you have to understand that the spirit of who Yah is letting us know that the Hakadesh are the holy ones of Yah, who he is going to abide in. And these that are being sealed in Revelation are these are the ones that are going to be sealed in their foreheads. And then the question I asked, which I was just trying to be smart mouth, I said, okay, and they're being sealed in their forehead. You already know who they are. Seems like the angels know who they are. Well, what is the seal for on the flesh? He says, so that Satan and all wickedness will know, hands off. If he sealed them in the spirit, they would have no idea who the people are or who they belong to. So he put a seal on their outer man, you see, which is their flesh, so that those that represent the flesh, which is Satan's seed, would be able to identify these are no. You see, these are a no. Now, what is the battle? Okay. Now, here go those that are sealed. They're going to be heading to the promised land. Okay. They're heading to the promised land with who? Those who are not sealed. Do you understand? You see, while he's going to be purging and doing away with the rebels, those who are claiming to be who they say that they are. And it's not about Sister Deborah saying who she are, who you say you are, based on our appearance, based on how we conducting ourselves, based on how we're teaching and preaching and ministering, based on how we got subscribers and likes on YouTube. It's already marked from the inside to the out. We're already marked on the inside and on the out. So as we take this journey, we're going to have many of Israel from the 4 corners entering in this journey, and y'all going to put a stop to many going on this journey, because he said he's going to purge them out. You see, he's going to do away with them. Why? Because when we get to the promised land, that's holy. He's letting us know that I'm not saying that because you are a name, you're going to get to the kingdom. And that's the biggest mistake Israel and Judah has made on this earth. They don't understand the protection that they are looking for on this earth. It's not going to be there for you all. Not in the land of your captives. It's not going to be there for you. If y'all going to allow Israel to come out and he's going to do purging Israel, and we're going to read that. We're going to get to that. And I'm going to break that down and show you where he's saying that he's going to purge the rebels. Those who are saying, oh, we the true people, we the Israel, we the true Jews, we the this, we Israel, we're Judah. Baby. In Yah, he has hands marked. So you're going to get out here clowning like Sister Deborah. And you all that might just assume that you're marked. I don't know if I'm marked or not. You see what I'm saying? But if I get out there and get purged, that's going to tell the truth of the whole matter. Is y'all going to do away with the rebels and I be done away with? That's going to tell the whole truth of the whole matter. Why? Because we don't see the mark on our forehead. We don't see the predestined in us, in our spirit. We don't see that we are the holy ones in our spirit. All we know is that we're just trying to do the will of the Father that's in the kingdom according to what he has put in us to do. So this is why it makes me even more excited to know that for you to do that, you mean you're gonna do something, ain't you? He said, yes. That means while we looking at Babylon falling, guess what? Israel are going to be falling by the wayside as well. You get the point I'm talking about? On that journey, Israel is going to fall big time. Because Israel have not realized that 144. Israel have not realized in Yah it's not going to be the 144. They did not say only the men. It's a lot of things that has been in here that's smeared. As I hear Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 25, it almost is going to repeat itself over and over and over until it's done, where Judah and Israel men get this thing that he ain't playing. So like I say, even me, if I'm going on this journey, you see, because of the seal that Yah put in the hands of he that was the angel coming from the east and given to the other angels on the four corners to help him seal. When we have a seal on our outer man and we have a seal on our inner man, so we're not going, now listen to this, we're not going to be moved, but we're going to see some things. So when we sitting here talking about what's going on in these captivity situations, wait till you see what you're going to see Judah doing on this journey. You see? And this is why he has to seal us from the inside, from the heaven, which is our spirit, the kingdom, and on the outside to keep those from tampering with what he's taking to the promised land. But you're going to see something about your own nation. You're going to be worn and torn and tired. But yet you're going to keep going because he has something invested in you. He have a seal on the forehead and he have predestined you for the promised land as a seed in your spirit. So the journey is going to be off the chain in what you're going to see. That's why a lot of us don't understand coming in and going out. The curse is going to remain because the curse is going to come out with those of Israel who say they are the people. We are the children. We are the Jews, and we are the people of the Most High Yah. We are Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. They're going to be saying that same thing on the journey. And Yah is going to be purging them, the rebels all out. And they're going to be all of Israel and Judah. That means the world is not going to be the ones. And if we have some that's jumping into the journey, they too are going to be purged out. That's not included. You see what I'm saying? And this leads Sister Deborah to realize what he was trying to explain to me this morning. Is, Deborah, it's going to be my way or no way. And my way is the only way, because I am the I am. I can do that. And see, that's where many people are confused, because they think it's the power of what they want to think, feel, believe, and teach and preach. But it's all out of even Sister Deborah's knowing, thinking, feeling, power, anything. You see? So knowing that saints is not covering the holy ones, and knowing that the holy ones are the set apart ones. Just think. Had we really gripped the fact that we could be set apart, consecrated, we would think, when did we get set apart, and when was we consecrated? In the kingdom. So even though we down here cutting up from the floor, he got us ready already. The way, even on that journey to the promised land, it's not saying we're on a journey and because our head is marked a seal and we're predestined in our spirit, does not mean we're not going to be doing chaotic stuff and doing things we ain't got no business doing. But y'all ain't worried about that. He said, I got you sealed 2 ways, in the flesh and in the spirit. Come on here, bring y'all tails on. That's where it came in, to where in is it Jeremiah or is it Ezekiel? I was confused. I said, what is this here you talking about? Come on here. I know you can see, but you are blind. Come on here. I know you can hear, but you are deaf. What are you talking about? What are you saying? That messed me up. And to the spirit broke it down. He said, Deborah, when I said, come on here, I know you see, but you're blind. Come on here, I know you deaf, but you hear. What is you saying? He said, don't forget the twos. They blind in the flesh, okay? But they can see in the spirit. They hear in the flesh. But no. They hear, let me see, but come on here. Oh, no. It's the other way around. They're blind in the spirit, but they can see in the flesh. They deaf in the spirit, but they can hear in the flesh. Why? He's saying, come on here. He's wagging for them to come on. I know that you are deaf in the spirit, but you can hear in the flesh. Bring your tail on. I know that you are blind in the spirit and you deaf. You can see in the flesh. Come on here. He's letting you know I'm collecting minds. That even if you deaf, even if you blind, you belong to me. Bring your tail on here. That's what he's saying. Letting you know it's not going to be like we thinking that, hey, it's all about me, the way I wear my hair, I look, I dress, my fringes, how I'm this, I'm that. And no, it's not. It's the order that heavens has already written. So when he got there, I said, well, why are you telling these people they blind, but they could see? Why are you telling these people they deaf, but they could hear? He said, Deborah, their outer man can hear, their outer man can see, but their inner man is blind. Oh, or was it the opposite way? And their inner man is deaf. Right. Come on here. Because him calling them in the spirit is because they don't have what it takes in the spirit to lead them up out of here. So he's telling them, you come on here. As he told Abraham, Abraham believed in the vision. See, no one never questioned the fact that for Abraham to believe, he had to be in the vision. Now, this is the question. No one never thought that Abraham's belief was never the belief of him in the flesh. It wasn't a belief in his natural. Why? Because the moment he woke up, he went straight to Hagar. He didn't believe nothing what Yah had told him in the vision. Hello, nobody won't preach and teach that thing in righteous. That confused me too. I said, Father, you just told him. The moment he came out, he went straight and did what you told him not to do. How could that be? But what Yah did. Okay. Abraham believed. See, no one was able to dissect the fact that Abraham did not believe in the natural. It wasn't that he was all that and some. Y'all need, because when you give him that authority and that credit and that power, you belittle the Father, and he cannot be belittled. You got to recognize the Father in these people. And that's something we refuse to do. We want to see all these characters in this Bible. We want to give them the glory and the praise and the honor and boasting and boosting them up. But when you learn who the Ruach is, then you realize his beginning and end, and really have that fear, that belief, that righteous, that faith. Then you understand these people ain't nobody but role players to represent the higher player. But we can't see the higher player because we're so busy seeing the role player. So I'm sitting here watching Abraham, and I said, wait a minute, hold up, Father, wait a minute, hold up. I got a question. This is how he teaches me in the wilderness, and I'm allowed to ask questions, and I ask everyone I can. Why? Because when he's teaching me, I'm in a different realm, you guys. You see, like Abraham was, I'm in a different realm. When he first started off with Abraham in Genesis 15, he was telling him, don't be afraid. Telling him who he is in the spirit. Y'all had to tell Abraham that. Wait a minute, well, hold up. Why did you have to tell that to him? Shouldn't he have known that since he knew you? See, they won't teach that thing in the righteousness. See, because once you hear that the Father says this to Abraham, let me go here. When you hear in Genesis chapter 15, and I'm going to give you another example. When you hear in Genesis chapter 15 and verse 1, it bothered me. Y'all, I ain't got no sense. But you catch me on the other side, you get all the way messed up from the floor. When I get to Genesis 15 and I'm hearing it says, after these things, the word of Yah. Now, see, that's the word that teaches me. 99.15 billion is taught by a book. And it's okay because that's who you are. I'm taught by the word of Yah. You're taught by the books of words. Now, listen to what it says. How I'm going to break it down to you to show you the difference in he that reads the book and understand it one way, and he that reads the book and understand it in the spiritual realm. Now, this is it. Genesis chapter 15 and verse 1. After these things, the word of Yah came unto Abraham in a vision. So right then, the whole world has no idea that Abraham is not in himself, you guys. He is off the earth, mentally gone off the planet into a spiritual realm. Okay? It tells you he's in the vision. Why can't they teach that thing? Now watch what it says. Saying, fear not. Well, wait a minute, Father, y'all, why are you telling him not to fear? I thought Abraham was the one. Why is he fearing? This is how the Spirit teaches you to go beyond Abraham and see him. And that's the problem. Nobody wants to move Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob out of the way. Move Moses out of the way. David, get out of my way. I got to see the Most High in this. Where are you at, Most High? I'm looking for you and you only. Hey, get out the way. out of my way. I'm looking for the most high God. And that's how my life has been. Never searching for the flesh of nobody. Looking for Yah in any and everything. So here we are in Genesis chapter 15, and it said, he's talking to Abraham, fear not, Abraham. I am your shield and thy exceedingly great reward. Why is he fearing? Don't he know you, Father God? Ain't he your man? No, Deborah. He's just in the spirit realm. A place he hasn't been. A place he hasn't gone to know me for me. I said, I can see that. I can see that. And let me show y'all. When they are teaching you this is how they're supposed to take it to you. That now this man that's called Abraham is not in himself. He's in a different realm. That makes a difference. That shows you who? The power of it, the realm in which he is in. That shows you, wait a minute, somebody talking to Abraham and telling him, fear not. I am. There go I am. The shield and thy exceedingly great reward. Why can't he get no glory? Why can't he get no honor? Because we're so busy giving it to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We're so busy giving it to David, Moses, and everybody else. We can't see the glory of Yah and how he used people. Because we so, even on YouTube, we so busy giving everybody likes and subscribers and praise and like they gods. And financially blessing them to where we can't even get blessed in our spirit. Because we want only that which pleases our flesh. Now watch this here. Right then, I said, wait a minute, Father. Abraham not in himself. He said, I know that, Deborah. I know that. Let me tell you where I stopped him again. Hey, this sister be asking questions. And then it went on and telling Abraham, and it said in verse 4, and behold, the word of Yah came unto him saying, telling you he's talking. Yah is talking directly to who? Abraham. In what? His realm. In his glory. In his realm. And we never gave him the glory for it. We never gave him the honor nor the praise. We never recognized that, wait a minute, y'all, we giving Abraham all this time he believed. Abraham didn't believe in nothing. Abraham was scared as a chicken in the spirit. And in that fear that he was in for no reason at all. What you mean for no reason at all? Because Yah told him, fear not. So is he telling him to fear not because he fear or he fears? He fear not. He's telling him to don't fear. Because he see that Abraham is in a level in the spirit realm with fear. So when you get down to, watch this here, watch what Abraham do. When you get down to, where's that verse? Let me find it. 6. When you get down to Genesis chapter 15 and verse 6, it reads, and he believed in Yah. He in the spiritual vision, Yah. Would you believe? Say, for instance, if each one of you all, Yah came to you in your sleep and he took you to the spiritual realm, would you believe everything he's showing you? I would. I ain't gonna lie about it. I believe it. I sure would. And what it says here in verse 6, and he believed in Yah and he counted it to him. What do you mean you counted it? I counted it as, Deborah, righteousness. Because that's the end I brought him in on. I created him in my righteousness. I brand him with righteous. So in that vision, Abraham believed. So if he believed in that vision, what made him come out of the vision and go into Hagar? Because in the vision, he went on and telling him he's going to have a baby of his own seed from Sarah. He's telling him. What would make him come out of the vision that gave the seal to him and go in and have a baby by Hagar right after the vision. It's because it was not the type of belief that y'all thought Abraham believed. It was a belief out of the fear that he was in the vision, and he believed. And that's why Yah took it out of belief and said, listen to what he said, Yah took it out of belief, and he said, and he counted it to him for righteous. He took it out of the belief and sealed him so that you and I would know Abraham was sealed to be counted as righteous. But it wasn't what Abraham believed that counted him as righteous. He's letting Abraham know you was already counted before the foundation of the world as righteous. Because the belief was coming from the realm he was in. When he woke up, he left that realm and went straight into Hagar. After Yah told him that he was going to give him a seed, and it's going to be a seed out of his own. He takes that seed and went and dispersed that seed elsewhere to try to create what he seen in the vision, or didn't care to see in the vision, because he did not wait on Yah. He the one gave him the information. Moment he gets out the information, what do? He goes straight into Hagar. Sarah give him Hagar to lay down instead of him saying, wait a minute, but the word of Yah came unto me, and he said to me in the vision. He did not say that. Abraham did not do that. He went straight in and got him Hagar. You see the point? So how is it based on this man being so, how would I say it? The belief Abraham was all that and some. No, you got to count him righteous from the kingdom and not from his flesh. And that's where every man and woman messes up. We count these people as something they are not. They just like you and I. Just like you and I. They are the seed, and they were the seed, and they are the seed of the Spirit. But they think like you and I, they act like you and I, they conduct themselves like you and I. That's why it didn't take Abraham nothing to go, here, Sarah said, take my maid and have a baby. And Abraham, yeah, that's up my alley. You see what I'm saying? Because if he thought about the vision, he would not. You said you believed, Abraham. Why didn't you believe in what Yah said, but you believed in what you believed if you lay down with Hagar? You see where his belief really rests? I'm going to give you another insight. You remember when him and his people and Sarah and them sojourned into the another king's land, and they went there to get a lot of things, and they decided to say that they're not they're I think sisters and brothers. They're not married in a sense. Why would Abraham do that? Why couldn't he just trust and believe in the unseen Yah? Why are you about to let Sarah lay down with this king? You've given her to this king knowing that she belongs to you. Where is his belief then? See, that's what I'm saying. Y'all talk, you speak, you listen to these people teaching, but you're not getting to the core of what you call spirit and truth. Because the truth of the whole matter, it will set you free to understand when, okay, he's no different than I am. No, he isn't. No, he isn't. You have to know when Yah is in the midst and what he's doing. But we can't see Yah because we so easy to give all people and flesh the glory and the credit, to where we refuse to see that power of Yah. So here go Abraham here, just like he did with Sarah. Now this man had them to dress Sarah. She cleaned her up, get her ready. He's getting ready to lay down and make her his. Why was Abraham allowing that? If he was a man of Yah that believed as y'all thought he was based He was, you got to see the righteousness. The righteousness is the brand in which Yah has branded his spiritual seed. That's why he had already counted. He said, I counted. You are already counted really in as righteous. I mean, you already from the kingdom has been counted in as righteous. Because the belief that he had, he could have left him with belief. But y'all knew that it wasn't a belief that was spiritual. It was a belief out of fear. Okay? Same way with Genesis 49. Let me show you another example. But see how he did Sarah? You was willing for your wife to lay down with somebody for you to get what you wanted. But to who came in? The holy Ahijah stepped in. And he stepped in hardcore. If it was left up to Abraham, Sarah was all for it. Yes, she was all for it. Wasn't going to say a word. You see? But in Yah, no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to have that. You get the point I'm saying? Now, when I get to Genesis 49, here's another situation. This is another situation where we keep giving glory to the flesh when we need to give glory to the Most High Yah and let the Most High Yah teach us how we respect he that was in the flesh that came to be born of the seed of Yah. But we don't do it that way. We switched it backwards. We turned around and say, we'll give flesh the glory and the honor and the praise. And we just put him on the sideline. Genesis chapter 49 and verse 1. When I saw this, I wanted to find out, wait a minute, who is this in here? 99.15 billion couldn't see it. The way you see these words is through the word, which is Yah. That's why I can come into these books, this study guide, this instruction, and teach Yah word out of these words. But I got to put it in the proper order. I can't leave it where man has taught you all. Now watch this. In Genesis chapter 49, many of you all have heard about this. Jacob called unto his sons. Now, when it tells me he called to his sons, this next few words lets me know that they heard him. Listen to this. Genesis chapter 49. And Jacob called unto his sons with the S and said, so is Jacob calling them and saying to himself, or did his son show up? They showed up. No, he said to them, gather, whether they were all at the dinner table, all out in the yard. Jacob said, gather yourself together that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days. Okay, so Jacob is telling them their destiny, y'all, their whole end game. That's what Jacob is getting ready to do. But it was like Jacob might have been, maybe they were in the outside or they were wherever they were. He said to them, gather, mean come together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days. Now there go Jacob. He just said that. Do you think that they came? Do you think that they obeyed Jacob? Do you really think that they obeyed Jacob? I believe Jacob wanted to bring them together, all the 12 tribes, the sons, so he can tell them their end game. And I don't think they really wanted to know. Okay? Because for Jacob to tell them their end game, that is like telling them their destiny. And that's how it is on these devil platforms. People don't want you to tell them the truth of the whole matter. People don't want you to tell them nothing about the light, but the light exists and oh, they can claim the light. But when you go on and you're breaking it down so the people can understand, truth is there to set you free. That's how I felt about today and yesterday when the Father was telling me a way of escape. He said, do like David did. David wrote many of Psalms, and he wrote them out of his pain and his heartache, his sorrow, and his feelings, and his emotional and his spiritual being. Deborah, he just wrote everything that he felt. And I got in there and I started with Psalms 1, and I began to read David. I said, oh, David, you cutting up. I read David, and I know he cut up. But what the Father was showing me, this is a way that many of us can come within ourselves and pull out all this that's in us and bring it to paper, write those feelings down in a way that you're just pouring out to the one that's on the throne. Forget who's on your left, forget who's on your right, forget who's laying in your bed, forget who's coming over, forget any and everything, and bring yourself to a level where you can sit down and just write your feelings, your emotion, and your spirit out onto paper. So he was telling me, I'm gonna give you another way. So once you just hear David. So I read about 15 chapters of David. And I said, oh, David was cutting up. I always liked David's Psalms. I always liked David's Psalms. And he was cutting up. So I began to do mine, and I'm like, oh, this feels so good. Oh, this feels so good. Because I know that I'm not talking to myself. I'm talking to he that is greater in me. And he that's greater in me is just pouring out his spirit in me in a way that he was pleased with me just writing how I felt and what I want him to know, even though he knows all things, but he didn't want me to be caught up in there. He just said, write it, Deborah, until you can't write no more. And I did just that. I did just that. So let me tell you what, like in Genesis 49, you see how they're telling you Jacob was calling his sons together. Was he calling his daughters? No. Jacob was telling his sons. Why, Deborah? Why is Jacob telling his sons and not all those daughters, Deborah? Because y'all knew the seed come down to men. Don't talk about the men, Deborah. You know, these women who got these husbands, they don't want you talking about the men because it will remind them of their own that they lay beside every night. So here it is. I'm like saying, no daughters, but sons? He said, yeah, Deborah, because the seed. Now, that's what I try to tell everyone. Nothing comes out of the woman. She's the one that travaileth. She's the one that brings forth, laid on her bosom and breastfeed. Nourish and take care of it while it's inside and out. That's why she is to be honored in a way. That's the part of her help meeting the Father's will. So here it is, an example that Jacob is calling his sons. Why? Because the sons hold the whole generation, even to us today. Jacob was telling them about us today. Them in different tribes how we today are going to pan out. Oh, we don't want to hear that. We don't want to hear that. We don't want to hear that. They didn't want to hear it like we don't want to hear it today. We want to take it out of the realm in the way the Spirit wanted us to understand it to set us free. And we want to lock it and put it in captivity and say, shut up, we ain't going to talk about that because we got to make sure everybody think that everybody doing something to us and everybody wronging us, everybody saying this. No. The truth be told, that's not my creation. That's not the one who created me. He didn't create me to come to teach the lie. He created me to come to teach the truth with the light in my right hand. Okay, so here we go. Jacob is calling the sons and telling them to come together, and so that shall befall you in the last, so I can tell you that. And I don't know if in your Bible, the word that the word that is slanted. What is that saying to me as a prophetess in the wilderness, a student of the Most High Yah? He want me to know that is for sure. What Jacob said was for sure. That is for sure, Deborah. So know when you see that slanted, THAT, that I may tell you that, and it's slanted, which shall befall you in the last days. Right there, he's talking to each and every last one of us that's in the house of Israel and the tribe of Judah. Jacob is at his dead bed talking to us from his dead bed. And we still today don't want to hear it because we want the lie. And it's okay. It's okay. Because it ain't so much as we want the lie. The lie want us because it's already embedded what father of lies you represent. So a lot of people don't know. When you don't want truth and you want the soother, the one that makes you feel good, or telling you what you want to hear, and you don't want that which come to set you free so you can run this race, then that's what you're left with who really you are. And the liar, the father of all lies. A lot of people don't understand it. That's why it's important to not want to hear the lie for the comfort of the flesh. You want to hear the truth that set the spirit free. And once the spirit is set free, it's going to set your flesh. It's going to pardon the sins of your flesh. It's going to be pardoned. Okay, so here we go. So Jacob did set it up. He did told him to come. And he only talking to his sons. Because you all reject the fact that Sister Deborah told you everything come out the learn of the man. Jacob telling y'all the same thing. Jacob is telling y'all the same thing this prophet is telling y'all today. And been telling y'all for 6 years. But you will make it look like I'm speaking negative toward the men. Because that lie that you all feed into is better for you. Then that lets me know as the prophetess that you're the seed of the liar, Satan. So here, watch this here. And this is the difference between you and me. So as Jacob is preparing to die and to leave words with his sons, I want y'all to understand they didn't want to hear it. They did not want to hear it. Why? It's just like me telling my kids, you better do this. If you don't do this here, not that you better, but you better think about the choices and make better decisions, or think about what you're doing, or consider studying or finding out this. They don't want to hear it. Nobody wants to hear nothing anymore. Okay. So Jacob's situation is like today. Nobody wants to hear anything that weigh in the scale of truth. So Jacob here, and I kind of feel sad for him. You know why I feel sad for him? This is their father, and he's dying. And all he asked them to do is to come together. But I do understand their side. I do understand their side. What they're saying is we don't want to come because you're getting ready to die. You finna lay down the axe. And what is the axe? Your life. Now, what is the son feeling? That whatever he says, it's going to be 100 truth. All the way to where we at today. Did y'all know that? No, you didn't have no idea because ain't nobody ever told you. This is the difference from when I speak and when they speak. They don't want to hear what Jacob says because they do not want to hear the truth of how the rest of their lives is going to go. Even when they dead and gone, they all are generation of where we at today. Where we are at today still speaks what Jacob was saying in Genesis 49. In Genesis 49, now here we go. Now, all of a sudden, I'm listening and I'm reading. I said, hold up. Somebody's on the scene. Wait a minute. Who is that? Who is that? Instant, I knew. The Ruach stepped in. Jacob, the Ruach stepped in to support Jacob. Why? Because his why you all don't grip the fact of yesterday. When you want to read Torah, your butt better teach Torah out of its righteous. Don't talk to no Torah about nothing Torah if you don't pull up in Torah in righteous. But they don't do that. They pull up with Torah in a lie, in bondage, to get you in bondage to a lie. But they ain't gonna pull up with the righteousness that's rest in it. Oh no. So what happens? So here I am. I'm in the wilderness now, y'all, being taught. And I'm reading. I said, hold up. Somebody's here. Who is that? Who is that? Listen to this. Verse 2. I read it. Then I read it again. Then I went hooping and hollering. Wait a minute, Father, y'all. Somebody's on the scene. Who is that? Who is that? He said, Deborah, calm down. Calm down. Read it. Genesis chapter 49 and verse 2. Gather yourself together and hear, ye sons of Jacob, and hearken unto Israel, your father. Who is that speaking? Anybody in the live chat? Who is that speaking? Who is that speaking? And why must he come in and speak with great power that made them have no other choice but to park themselves right? It was the Most High. He supported Jacob all the way. How? Listen to what he says in verse 2. Genesis chapter 49 and verse 2. Gather yourself together and hear, you sons of Jacob, and hearken unto Israel, your father. First and foremost, Jacob was called Israel, and the one that could present Israel as their father, nobody on the earth but the Father on the throne could say that. Nobody. He had to break that thing down, and I'm like, wait a minute, somebody on the scene. And when he told me it was him, I said, I knew it. I can hear somebody on the scene. I can feel in the spirit that somebody else is on the scene at this moment. Now, a lot of this, the Roman Catholic had went in and smeared. But by the word of Yah, he's the only one can bring back the smears and straighten this thing up. Now, you would have 99.15 billion not even understand that this was the Ruach of the Most High Yah stepping in on Jacob's sons. Nobody wants to know what shall befall them in their days, even to today. I sit here and I tell y'all that all the time on this platform. Everybody wants the lie. No one wants the truth. And it's okay. Because the lie is the father of all lies in which you want. So when you recognize that that's what you want, that's how you want to feel, know that you are the child of the father of all lies. That's why you want the lies than the truth that comes to set you free. Now here in Genesis 49 and verse 2, gather yourself together and hear, ye sons of Jacob, and hearken unto Israel, your father. His wife couldn't have said that. His brother couldn't have said that. Nobody but the Most High Yah. That's the only way he was going to get them in. The Spirit had spoke. They wasn't coming in. They didn't want to hear what Jacob had to say. Reuben and all, you ain't going to give us our bad day. Oh, no. And because we do not teach Torah in spirit and truth, this is why foolish people are teaching Torah today out of order with no spirit and truth in it. No light, none whatsoever. They teaching it out of the tradition of getting you in order. Because they love the idea that your flesh can easily get in order when they can portray that they know Torah to you, and they don't. 99.15 billion didn't even know that the father had to step in to give the threat to the sons of Jacob. Because they knew he was dying. They didn't feel, hey, we don't have to go hear that. He finna tell us our life. And what did that say to us today? While we out here hooping and howling, talking about in captivity, and they doing this and they doing that, take your butt back to Jacob. Hear what Jacob said you will be today. He told us. We don't want to listen to that. We don't want to listen to anything, because my issue was this. When he went to telling Abraham about us being in the land, I asked the Father, wait a minute, hold up. Why did he have to go into a deep sleep, a horror of darkness? He said, Deborah, because this thing is real. That's how bad it was going to be. I didn't want him to suffer in the memory, how would I say it? It wasn't like a pain, but the whole idea of what he was, the seeds that he was going to bring forth is going to end up somewhere else. You see what I'm saying? So y'all wiped all that away, but how he did it, he switched the vision in which Abraham was in, and he turned around and switch it over to him in a dream. And then he called the dream a horror of darkness fell upon Abraham, because he needed to bring that power of what was going to happen to us to Abraham's bosom, so that we today can understand. He laid it out in the bosom of Abraham, but Abraham couldn't have handled it, so he put him under a horror of darkness, you see. But for us, we can read it and we can see where Abraham was warned, but he didn't take heed to it as far as it to bother him. Y'all didn't want it to bother and worry Abraham. That's why he suffered the darkness and the horror of darkness that fell on him, because that's the part that he received. And that's what we should have read and taught people today, that this thing in this captivity bounces off of Deuteronomy 28. That's how he brought it to Abraham, but limit Abraham to be worried about it, because he put him in a dream. Now that's separate from the vision, but in the same day. He switched him from the vision of holy to the dream of turmoil. He says it's a great horror or darkness. So you don't know these things until what Revelation chapter 10 says, until my servants, the prophet, instill the mystery. Because I'm finished with it. I ain't gonna be here begging people to get to know this and to know that. So what it lead me still back to is that we have been and constantly believing things that has no relevance to where we're at, what's happening, and where we're going, and how we're going, and the way we're going, and what we should be doing today. So Sister Deborah want to also lay on to you what Yah laid to me. He said, write your words on a paper, put it in writing. And I was like, let me get my pad. I went all the way in the back looking for me a pad of paper, notebook paper. And I sat there and I said, he said, now, did you hear what David was talking? And you know what else about David, you guys? David was so focused on letting y'all know all of his feelings, y'all. And that's what y'all want us to do. And I just thank him for putting that on my heart, that I can do this as well. Because when you are in the position like I am, many of you all are, but I'm speaking of myself, and you feel that, you know, you could be talking to brick walls and people are not getting this, family don't understand it, they don't get it, they don't believe it, and so on. You got to talk to me. I'm in you. Come on, let's talk. Let's rumble. So put that like David. So when I was reading David, I was like, David, ooh, you hooping and hollering, ain't you? He said, yes. He said David was putting all his emotions, his feelings, his spiritual being, his fear. He was putting his fear in words, just so Yah, he can bring him out. Even though Yah knew his fears, he knew his heart, he knew his emotions and his feelings and his spiritual being, because he's a seed of the spirit. And he just allowed him to make all, now this is a man now, y'all, make all the writing regarding his emotions, his experience, his feelings, his spirit. And one thing about it, his belief in Yah. With things he was saying, He was telling y'all how much he believed in him. And then when y'all gave that to me, I said, you know what, Father, that is such a helping hand, because all the things that I believe in, all the food that he have fed me, all the energy and all the power of understanding and wisdom in the spirit and knowledge in the spirit that he has instilled in me. He said, pull that out. Just write it out on paper. Just write it out. And I was like, wow, I couldn't even stop, y'all. I was going, I was just, it was like a nonstop, because it's so much invested in me, to where he's saying it to me to put it. He's telling me, bring yourself out. Bring yourself out. I know your thoughts. I know your emotions, your feelings. I know your yesterday, today, and I know your tomorrow. Come on, let's bring them out. Put it on papers so you can get that feeling, that spiritual feeling, as David did. And once David started, it was no turning back. And guess what? Solomon did the same thing. Solomon ended up putting things in the Psalms of Solomon. He started to just put, that's why people don't understand in the Psalms of Solomon, you also hear him saying things you're wondering, well, why is he talking about that? What do that mean? But see, what we would do, we would take what Solomon said and try to put it in a spiritual realm, leave it where it's at. Because y'all broke it down to me. That's our feelings, our emotions, our spiritual being. You see? Our struggles, our hurt, our pain, our happiness. We're just putting it in writing. So don't take it out of the writing and make it to be, okay, all this and all that, and so spiritual. You see? When I heard David crying to the Most High Yah. I always heard David crying out to the Most High Yah for protection, for leading him and guiding him. For when he wronged the Father, he's putting it in writing. How I wronged you and you told me this and I did this. David was putting everything in there. And it brings you back into the reality of where you at in the flesh. That if David was expressing all of this he was doing in the flesh, that's what a lot of people wasn't taught. That's what David was doing. He was expressing everything in his flesh, and he was a male. And guess what? He was expressing the feeling of him spiritually toward the Most High Yah. He also was expressing how Yah has kept him, how shield me, how you protect me when I did this, and I didn't do this right. I didn't do this. David was just hooping and hollering about all things. And when he told me to start putting it in writing, I said, oh, that's a good idea. So when I woke up this morning, I did the same thing. It's such a good feeling to be able to just know that you could just take these things and just write them out. And I felt so compelled to continue it this morning to the point where the Ruach, I could feel him in me, assuring me that, hey, this is it, Deborah. This is what you can do. I was like, wow, the feeling of it. So I say unto you, get you a journal and just start making your Psalms, making Psalms 1, Psalms 2, Psalms 3. Start writing 4, 5, now about 7 to 8. How many things that you feel, and put them in writing. The next thing you know, you're gonna be thinking, wait a minute. You mean I had all that in me? I can tell somebody something. I can feel something. You see? So anybody in the live chat, do you have any questions? But I appreciate each and every last one of you all tuning in. And I hope that each and every last one of you all received something out of the message. But I will say that I did look up Hakadash, and it means the one. That's what Holy One means, the one. So it can't be the Ruach, the one, Hakadash, the one, the Ruach, the Spirit, the one. It doesn't make sense. But the Spirit is saying, I come for, Deborah, the one, which is Holy One, which is Hakadash. Because I'm like saying, but Father, why is 2 names attached when you are a spirit? Why do you need Ruach HaKodesh? He said, because they have no idea that I'm a one. I was from the beginning and I will to the end. That's why I try to explain to them, Deborah, I am that I am. I don't have to be all that y'all say that I am. I don't have to have 2 and 3 and 4 or 5 names detached to me. I am who I am. Not who you make me to be, who you said that I am, who you name me to be, who you pretend that I am. I am that I am. And if you knew the power in just I am, you'll understand that y'all don't need all these things that everybody is detaching to him, because he's the all in all, just with the word I am. And that means ahaya, ahaya. And to me, that's beautiful, because it's letting the highest of the higher, the high of the higher. We got so many things portraying to be the high. He said, I am the higher, higher, higher of all higher. You see, that's what I am mean in Hebrew. Ahaya, 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 ahaya. And if you really listen to that, you remember the Indians would dance around. See, this is in their praising, they always were on the right path of who they were calling on. They were calling on the I am. I used to watch cowboys and Indians. I love cowboy movies, and I used to watch them. And when I heard the Indians always singing when they're around the fire, see, they were saying it all the time. And we come to Dumb City, that means come to ourselves, and we want to make it what we want to make it and say, oh, the name is this, the name is this. Sit your tails down, clowns. It don't take all that. It's just taking, being silent, quiet, humble, low, so that you can hear he that speaks in a quiet voice. In a quiet voice. He's not yelling to you. He's not hollering like Sister Deborah be talking. He's humble, low, quiet. He's in you. He don't have to do all that. He can teach you without even you knowing that he's teaching you. Why? Because he's low. He's humble. He's quiet. You don't have to do all that stuff. You see? So, like I say, I hope that you did get something out of it. Someone says, he told me my heart wasn't in it. Do everything as unto me. Do everything as unto me. Put your heart into it. And the key of David. Mm-hmm. And y'all, I'm going to tell you something. If you read David, you can hear that man crying. You can hear that man hooping and hollering. He's scared. He's fearful. He confused. He just putting it all out there. And if you read it, you'll say, well, wait a minute, what's wrong with him? Something going on. Is he going to be okay? What? Oh, what's wrong with you? But see, they don't think of David like that. Oh, they think of him with all the wives. Oh, he the king. See, they didn't bring him to the level of flesh. They didn't bring him to the level, the low Yah. They put him higher and claimed the ways of his flesh to repeat them. But they didn't know who he was in the spirit. So the key of David, in a sense, if you go back and you hear David, you're going to wonder, well, why is this man hooping and hollering from the beginning? And I mean, he goes up to 100 and something. All you're going to hear him is hooping and hollering. And I mean hooping and hollering. And I don't blame him, because he's going through telling the Father what's all going on. And he ain't saying it to y'all. Hear what I'm saying. He's not saying it to y'all as if he think y'all don't hear. He knows y'all don't hear. But y'all have given him a a way out, just like I try to explain to y'all today. He's giving me a way out. Put that down in writing, y'all. Write that on paper. Write it out. And that's what David did. All now, you know, how can a man back then with David and all those wars he fought, all those years until he died, wars after wars after wars. You see what I'm saying? Had time to write down. So you know he had to have had a lot of hurt, you guys. So just me hearing all these things that is said that David is saying, it is a support to me that, hey, this is a male, this is a man pouring out to the Most High Yah what he is going through. And we today won't even go nowhere near that realm. But you got to also understand he was the spiritual seed as well. He's a spiritual seed. So the spiritual seeds knows how to grip the hem of Yah's garment and not let go. That's what Jacob did. He said, I'm going to wrestle all night. He's just wrestling in his head until you bless me. Don't let go. And that, me too. I tell y'all, don't let go of the hem of his garment until he bless you. Don't let him go. And you tell him, I'm not going to let you go until you bless me. And if you have that heart that you're looking for Yah to spiritual bless you, even where you stand today, to seek him and lean only to his bosom. Not all these platforms, not even Sister Deborah. We have to learn that it has never been about the flesh, y'all. It has always been about the spirit of the Most High Yah. Always. It's always about him. It's never about us. Still today, 2024, still trying to gain the glory. When Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, David, Solomon, all of them, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, all the prophets just about was murdered. So what glory, what is it that was so, look at David, all his life he was fighting. And we sitting here putting him on a pedestal. He's down here he's saying to us, well, y'all some fools. All that I went through, have you not read my Psalms? My hurt, my pain, my heartache, my struggles, and in each and every last one of them, if it had not been for he that sits on the throne, the Father Yah, I would not have lasted one day. But we don't want to give him the glory. Let me say that another example. People can't seem to understand that David was coming out as the youngest of his brothers, and that he had a slingshot that he used to go after the giant. When we know today, if you was to get a slingshot, that you weren't going to, I don't care how you shoot it, even if you shoot it in one of the eyes or right between the eyes, it's not going to kill a giant. Okay? Little old David, frail David. You know where the problem is? Take that and give Yah the glory and the honor. Give him the praise for being the victory of the stone to delete that giant. To delete the giant. That giant was dead before the stone even hit him. Why? Because Yah had already orchestrated it that David was going to get the victory in the spiritual realm. That's what I'm telling y'all. We don't see him and what he's doing because we're so busy giving the flesh of people the glory. And that's why he had the main issue with Israel back in the beginning all the way up to today. What was the main issue? Let me see if anybody knows. Yeah, it was that power. And what was that issue that Yah had with Israel from the beginning even up to today? Anybody know? What is the biggest issue that Yah had on Israel? I'll wait. See if anybody. You're right. That wasn't the biggest issue, but they never seen it either. So you adding that makes it even worse. But that's true too. Their disbelief? No. Oh, idol. Someone already got it. They love to idol. Like today. I'm sorry, I didn't see it at first. Idol. They love to idol. They idol each other. They idol statues and stones and wood. Anything to be their Yah. Outside of Yah himself. That's the issue that Yah has had since the beginning of Genesis. That they have always worshiped idol Yah. But no, I knew what you were saying though. Because that it's idol. But I knew what you were saying. But that was the biggest issue. Because when you idol other gods, let's use YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Patriot. Do you all understand you are actually idling people on this platform? They're not giving you food for your spirit. They're not representing your creator in the kingdom on the throne. But yet you idol them as if they somebody that just dropped from heaven into your hand. And what are they doing in your hand? Nothing. It's that you just think they strictly come from heavens to your hand on your page. And they ain't giving you anything that represent the Most High Yah. These are idol gods. Today is greater than yesterday with the idling, because now we don't understand that the idol gods they were making yesterday, even though there were men that they were worshiping and idling, but there were stones and wood and all kind of things that they were idling. Today it's worse. You got more people idling the flesh of men and some women on the earth more than they have ever from the beginning. Everybody got idol gods because they thinking these people are their gods, and they don't know that that's what they're doing. But it don't matter if you know or not. Y'all see it as it is who you are made up of. You are born to idol gods. Deborah don't want you to ever see me. I want you to see Yah. And if you don't see any of my teachings that trying to direct your whole mindset to a higher being, to he that sits on the throne, he that started it, he that ended, he's the I am, he's the all in all, everything must begin with him, everything must end with him. If not, then we begin to idol individuals. And he said, jealous, he would not share. He's not one that would try to wake you and shake you out of your out of your idol worshiping. He's going to leave you right where you at, because where you at is where you need to be. So what they did not know is the measurement of his judgment has a great deal to do with idol gods today. People are, when they make the chain around here and have Yahuwah on it, or selling it and bracelets and stuff saying his name, he said, do not do that. Don't engrave wood and stone and tell people and sell it to represent me. I am not to be represented with wood and stone. He told them over and over. They don't care. Why? Because $1 is their idol god. They rather make money off of it than to realize that, wait a minute, I I am idling something that does not represent he that sits on the throne. What's wrong with us? When, say, for instance, someone says, okay, we need to wear our fringes. Why are you wearing fringes? Do you think the kingdom is about fringes? Do you think that the kingdom is giving everybody fringes in the kingdom? Stop that tradition of control. Because this is why people can't tap in to who they are in the spirit. It's because they're too busy trying to please the part of them of the flesh. They have the pleasure in the flesh. And they don't want to let that go. That's why I would rather, this is how I would, anybody that's out there, say for instance, I would come out of all these traditions. I would come out of all these traditions and start from within. And let Yah move you on the outside. Because, oh, he good at that. Oh, yes, he is. Let Yah move you from the inside out. Because we are putting too much focus on the outside. We're putting too much focus on the pleasure of our flesh. How many wives we should have. You see? How we can get another flesh to submit to our flesh. Things that has no bearing to the eternal spiritual Father. You see? All of this is just the tradition of man. And when we can pull out of this, then I think a lot of it is a part of what Yah is doing today. Not just today, but in this end days. His judgment is firm. His fire is kindled. His fear, he's at the wrath of his fear. And he allowing those that are quiet, loud, to pull out from among the things that they once used to do so that they can get ready to get up out of here. He ain't wasting his time on changing the unchangeable. Why'd you say it like that, Deborah? You say it sounds so harsh. Because the unchangeable can't be changed from what heaven has already orchestrated. He's not coming to redo things over for our feelings of our flesh. His spiritual purpose is finished, it's done. We just walk in the will of his spiritual purpose out. You see? So again, I hope you got something out of that. But a lot of things Yah is bringing to the forefront. And I think another reason why I think that the Father also speaks to me over and over is because I've learned throughout my life that something is talking to me. And it talks to me, y'all. It really talks to me. And I really listen. I really listen. In my experience today, I think I spoke to you all. You might have seen the video regarding Ice, the pit bull that I have. And I'm like, just watching. This dog is so smart. And when I say smart, you wonder, how can a dog get a bad name? I believe the name, not a bad name, but because it's a pit bull and how man has trained them and what man has instilled in them also go into their breed. You see? And they become the same thing over and over and over in which they came here. Because I always tell people, it's like somewhere his father must have been what we would call alpha. And he didn't eat certain things. You know, he didn't do what other dogs do. You know, I can give this dog a bone. I can give him, y'all know what the smoked turkey leg is? You can get this dog a smoked turkey leg and he won't eat it. He ain't going for that. He won't take the bone. He won't take the whole turkey leg. He's like he's a high end, type of dog, the way he does things. I never knew that dogs clean themselves. Did anybody knew that? Did y'all know that dogs, you know how cats got that tongue, that brittle, that hard tongue to clean themselves and get all that shed off them? Oh, okay. But I never knew a dog can do that. This dog will go out into the puddle of mud behind the garage, come back, pitch black. Only thing you can see is his eyes. He's just that pitch black. But by the morning time, he is white as snow. I don't understand it, and I ain't gonna try because it don't make sense to me. So when I see this dog, I'm like, how do you clean yourself like that? He's downstairs in the basement and he has a cage. But in my mind, I'm like, when this dog come up from outside and all that mud, I've never known. I've always had dogs, you guys. See, you said you didn't know that. I didn't know that either. Now, I know cats do. But at first, I'm going to tell y'all something. I thought I was going cuckoo clock about this dog being able to clean itself like this. I really thought something was wrong with me. I thought I was seeing things. So I started paying closer attention, especially when it rains and he's in a puddle and he's out there just running and running. And all of a sudden, I said, I'm going to see if this bad boy going to clean up. Woke up in the morning. That dog was white and gray. And in my mind, all between his toes were white fair. I mean, he was just, I did not know that they cleaned themselves like that. I had no idea that dog, I knew cats because I love cats too, but I did not know dogs. This dog, he cleans himself. He cleans himself up. He got this thing when he really wants you to love him and to want him. He would have my son laughing so hard. I said, you didn't know he was like that? He said, no, I didn't know he'd do that. He would jump because one day he did it. He came through the hallway and I'm laying in bed watching TV. He jumped, like he didn't just jump onto the bed where it's first. He dived in and hooked real tight so you can't even get him off of you. I said, no, stop it. And he locks himself there. You know how they said that jaw lock in and you can't get him out? That's what he was doing with his whole body. So I can't get out. I said, hey, stop it. And it was so funny. All he said, please love on me, comfort me, rub me. Only problem I have is I believe animals are animals. I don't believe in doing all of that. Now, I would rub on him and I would talk to him and I would give him good food and bath him, you know. I do a big tub. I got a big tub where he gets in, but I would not have you in my bed nor in my bedroom. You can come in and sit in the kitchen when I'm washing dishes and I'm cleaning up, but you're not going to live like I live or in my mess like that. I'm not going to. I never believed in having animals to be nowhere near or portraying that they're human. I just won't do it because I look at it. If you're going to do that for this individual, this blood liquor, flesh eater, what can you do for another human? I don't see it. I can't see it. And it bothers me. And when it did, it bothers me a lot to where the father had to tell me, but Deborah, calm down. He say, didn't I say the whole earth is off course? That's a part of it. Because in my mind, y'all, what keeps me from even allowing that type of comfort with the dog is I sit back and this dog will be outside. I give him 2 to 3 hours out in the morning and then bring him back in. And then he goes back out in the evening around about 5 minutes, 10 minutes to 7, like he is now. And he'll stay out there to 9. These people in this community, they got dogs galore in their yard. They're not even allowed outside just to poop and come back in. And these are big dogs. Old dogs and big dogs. They're not allowed to even come outside to play. And I think that's sad because it's how many? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, say 9 dogs surrounding, and you don't see none of them out. And when Beast go out, he be looking for them. He be sitting down waiting for them to come out. They don't come out. He's the only dog that bark, and he might bark 1 time or twice. It's a communication with animal to animal, but none of the other dogs will bark. They don't do anything. They don't do nothing. And this is what I was like, and I think I did this like a couple of years ago. I was trying to figure out, well, what's the problem? Why are they, what's going on with these animals? And then the father was telling me, you need to calm down. This is what I spoke of the whole earth is off course. What's right and wrong is right. Because these people come up and down the streets with their dog all early morning and midnight hour. Their dog have to walk beside them. They're not allowed to turn their heads. They're not allowed to bark. They're allowed only to walk side by side with them. And it is off the chain to see it. It is a sight to see. Come wintertime, you don't see none of them walking. It's for show. Flesh want everybody to think that they got something in control. Just like we were. We were in captivity in the way they treated us. They didn't see nothing wrong with it. Like they don't see nothing wrong with it today. Yeah, they do not see nothing wrong. But what I do understand is they believe that we are not entitled to speak back to them, to say anything to them. We're not entitled to anything decent. We're not entitled to be even humans. And a lot of people don't understand that is exactly where a lot of them are going back to, that same mindset. Because if you really think, y'all, if you really think, and the only reason why I think of this is because I have the 4 sons. If you really think this is supposed to be the land of the free, you see all different cultures. Okay. Now they have had, I think they got up to like 50 million migrants came in within the last year. Okay. Now they say before the end of this year, I think it's another 35 left because some more came in all last week, the week before last. So I think they got another 30, 35 that's going to come in. I think they're really hitting the goal. From what somebody told me, it's 120 million migrants. Now, all of them are coming into the United States of America. And this country was supposed to be the land of the free. But if you really see what they are doing and how they're doing it, it all makes so much spiritual sense to me why this got to be the land of Babylon. Now, when I say Babylon, which y'all did not understand, when y'all destroy something, he not just destroyed like Sodom and Gomorrah. He didn't just destroy Sodom and Gomorrah, all the surrounding cities. When see, that's what's also going to happen here in Babylon. It's a system that they're going to destroy. Babylon is, I think the United States is the power punch of the system, meaning they are the one that the world knows that head on the system. But I think all over the 4 corners. That's why a lot of people don't understand the 4 corners does not just consist of Babylon. It consists of the 4 corners. And I believe the whole Babylon out of the 4 corners is going to pay the price. I really do. I really do. But Babylon is going to be the one that's going to lose its foundation. This company, this United snakes is going to be what lose. They're going to lose their total foundation. And I think that the we have head totally back, because the way I feel as a prophetess, I told you all when I first got on here, and I've been speaking on it. I was never a type of person that could say that Europeans or any other nationality has treated me any way outside of good. I'm gonna be honest with you. I wasn't a person that I could say that these white people did this, they did this, they did this, they did this, that. Many people can tell you their experience of how the heathens and the Gentiles and Europeans have treated them on jobs, when they go here, when they go here. And that's why I, Sister Deborah, can say something to you all, and many can't. The reason why I can is because I never felt racist. I never saw them discriminate in my eyes. I never saw it. It was not done to me in my eyes. You see what I'm saying? It was not portrayed around me in any way, shape, or form. I thought maybe because I figured, I was non-tolerant and I wasn't the type of person. And I'm a person that when you see me, and yes, someone had spoke about Indians and the tribes of Indians and stuff. I believe my mom's grandfather was a chief Indian. And I think that's where we got, this is how they look. When I said I look unhappy, look sad, see here? And I think that's what it's that Indian kind of look. And this is how all the mouths of every Indian is just like this. It looks unhappy. So how did I go there? It was a reason why I went there and how I went there. But what I am seeing as a prophet, and as a prophet, I was trying to explain to you why I can say this to you and let you know you better consider what I'm saying and to take it serious. It's not where it used to be, baby. It's not there. It's beyond that now. It's so out of control to where it is totally out of control. I mean, a lot of us are not seeing the reality of the judgment of Yah, what is actually taking place. What these heathens and Gentiles are doing is a level of racist that's then reached a high level where you can't even see what it is. But by me not being able to experience it, what I'm seeing today outride everything I have ever seen in my life. Now I see it, but I see it at a high level. I don't see it at a low level. Now you would say, well, you would think you would see it at a low level since you never had it. But no. I'm just showing you how present it is. Now, why I can say that is because I did not have that in my midst and around me, or people doing things to me. But now they don't care. It's just so deep and so high level to where a lot of you all don't even understand. You can go in your workplace and be lucky if you make it home. You can go into a store and be lucky if you make it home. It's out there at a high level that you don't know, even among your own tribe, even among the house of Israel. You don't know if you're going to make it home or not, because somewhere, I don't know who hit the switch, something is going on that's causing people to act a certain level of violence that's off the chain and beyond what I have ever seen in my life. And they are out here conducting themselves in a way. And I'm talking about not this here. We always keep doing us like this. We always destroying each other. But I'm talking about this, the other. It is off the chain. Now I'm feeling that thing. I'm seeing it. I'm experiencing it. And that's why I said I can say it, because I didn't experience it. I don't know if y'all get what I'm saying. So here I come. 61 years old, and wasn't feeling it the way I felt in the last 2 years. And now, oh no, I feel it now. And guess what? Not only do I feel it, I see it. See, I was that person that said, y'all, I understand. They said, Miss Deborah, why they don't treat you like that on every place I worked? The men too. Miss Deborah, when I know nobody giving you any problem, they people all the time. I don't care if they were older than I was, younger than I was. They always every job I worked at, I was just a spirit that was a non-tolerant. But then I also, let me give the credit to where it's due. I believe Yah has always had a hedge around me as well. I'm going to give that glory to the Most High Yah. I believe he always had that hedge around me, and that's another reason why I have not experienced racist. You see what I'm saying? But that hedge is not around me anymore. I'm feeling that thing. I can feel that thing. I see it for what it has been said to be, but I see it worse because I see it, and I know y'all ain't going to understand this. I can smell it. That's how bad it is. I can smell it. I can hear it. I can feel it everywhere I go. That's how bad it is. Now, like I say, I can tell you all that. Many people couldn't tell you. I can tell you because the hedge was around me. I must give that to the Most High Yah, to where I hadn't experienced it. And I didn't know what it was. I didn't feel it. Hey, it wasn't messing with me. It didn't do me. And when they saw people around me, they didn't do them like that. That's why they said, well, Miss Deborah, why ain't they doing you like that? Why ain't they? And when they see these individuals talking to me, they change the way they treat them. You get what I'm saying, you all? I don't think y'all really getting what Sister Deborah is saying. So what I'm saying is, this is what people been experiencing throughout time. And Sister Deborah is feeling it in the last, say, 2 years or a year and a half. And I see it different than you all see it. You all might see it based on what you hear, what you see. Sister Deborah walk in the place, I can smell it. I can see it. I can hear it. I can feel it. And it's not a good feeling. And once I get into that environment and all that is on me like that, I'll be like, okay, Father, I hope they don't say nothing to me. Don't bump me. Don't do nothing. Don't do nothing. Because that's how heavy. I'm trying to explain to you all, that's how heavy it is out here. While y'all are out here bull crapping around, you don't even understand what is out on the earth right now after you. That's how powerful it is. That's how powerful it is. And I don't care where I go, it's that heavy. And why is it that heavy for me? Because I didn't experience it, you all these years. 61 years, I didn't experience it, you guys. I couldn't identify it. I can read about it. I can hear people say it. And I believed it. Don't get me wrong. But now y'all is letting me feel that thing. That's why I can't sit and deny that the judgment of the Most High Yah is not kindled. His fire is not kindled, and his judgment has hit the earth. I can't sit here and tell y'all that and play with you in a way that makes you think that, oh, ain't nothing really going on. You can keep on keeping on. Because if I'm the prophet in the wilderness and I'm feeling this thing, don't forget now, he's allowing me to feel it. He's allowing me to smell it. He's allowing me to see it. He's allowing me to hear it. And then people out here denying, oh, that ain't really happening. Oh, that ain't going on. So if he's allowing me in this day and time, it's a reason. It's a reason. It's really there. And the difference between me and you all, I ain't ashamed to tell the truth. I'll let you know it's out there, y'all. It's coming up. Because I'm feeling it. I see it. I hear it. I smell it. I see it. And all on my mind is Deborah. When I go into a place, y'all, it's so heavy. That racist is so heavy. I don't care. And I used to be able to just go anywhere, y'all. And they would say, hello. Oh, hello. Oh, you got a light about yourself. Oh, hi. Real pleasant, sweet. Now, you can feel it when you walk through the door, y'all. When you walk through the door, sometimes I don't even have to walk through the door and I can feel it. That's spiritual, you all. Let me know where I am at in this day. And this time, it's not a place to be lollygagging and thinking that it's all good and dandy. Oh, no. And I thank the Father for giving that to me, because it allowed me to walk therein. And I don't have to walk in fear. I can walk in truth, knowing that it exists and here it is before me. So when I wake up and see all this news, like, why is this lady went and stabbed this baby and stabbed his mother because you just went in the store and you stabbed someone else? Why are they doing that? Not just melanated people. They're doing it to Europeans, and Europeans are doing it to them. Europeans are doing it to their people. Melanated are doing it to their people. And no one says anything, but my spiritual eye sees it and saying, well, what's going on? Why ain't nobody say? Nobody has no feeling to say anything. Why? Because when people have lived in the darkness for so long, darkness become their light. And when darkness become your light, you don't see nothing going on. You don't see nothing going on. It is sealed within you that darkness appear to be light. And it makes it all well. So that level of what I'm feeling, I didn't have that for 61 years. And for me to be able to tell you all today, it's not the same, y'all. We are in a situation that's like no other. And it's no play in this situation, not even in the feeling of this situation. I was explaining to y'all early in the video about how the Father, I'm sitting here and I need some help from y'all. That's what I need to also go before his throne on, because I want to be able to measure, but then I can't tell him what to do. But I was sitting here doing my Psalms today, drinking my coffee, and heavy was that feeling in me. And it's like a sorrow, a burden, y'all. It's like a heavy sorrow down in you, a burden. And I'm just doing my Psalm, feeling good. And all of a sudden I said, oh, what's that I'm feeling? Oh, that's, Father, what is it? What is going on? When I feel it, I know it's the Ruach. And the Ruach is bringing warning to my spirit. And I'm all like, oh, Father, what is it? What is something happened? What is going on? Something about to happen? What is going on? And that's another thing about the Most High, y'all. He won't let me know exactly. It's just a form of preparation, of preparing me from the inside so that my outside might embrace it different. Because had not he prepare me from the inside, then it's on. It's on the outside. So I do appreciate the Most High giving me such an awesome gift. But it's not. A lot of you all might think that, oh, being a prophetess and being one that y'all deal with and speak to and being show things and reveal things and all of this and that. Let me tell y'all something. Just as Christ came down from beginning to end, long suffering. And that's what people don't understand. Much is expected, much is given, much is required. And it does not come with what you all think it is. It doesn't come like that, y'all. It comes with the long suffering and the endurance. Do you think that all those prophets died the way they died and suffered? You think Yeshua came down here to come down? Before he was born, they was after him. And when he died, they was after him. So you think all of this was for you to think that being Yeshua was all this and that without long suffering and endurance and pain and heartache? So Sister Deborah said to you, you all are making fools out of yourself to think that call position from heavens is something to boast and boost and put yourself up high and want to be recognized this and recognize this. Baby, if you knew the price and the penalty that you endure and what Sister Deborah has endured all her life through the turmoil of things being given to me, said to me, shown to me, revealed to me. Today, when he sat there and he gave me that, and I'm sitting here so happy, y'all. I'm so happy I'm doing my Psalms, and I'm just writing all my Psalms down, just putting out how I feel. And all of a sudden, bam, that feeling came. I was like, woo, what's that, Father? Father, y'all, what's about to happen? What's going on? And it was such a heavy burden. And it came there and it sat there enough for me to recognize it, y'all. And then it went bam, down. And I was like, what was that all about? And as I said that, I looked outside because I was right by the window. I looked outside with my coffee. I said, wait a minute. Is them neighbors about to do something to that dog? Oh, Father, I hope these people don't go and do something. And then I have to respond. What is about to happen? They finna do something to that dog. I'm sitting right here. Somebody gonna do something. Oh, the feeling. It was just the feeling had ceased, but the burden and the sorrow came full force. And I went, boom. That good feeling of writing them songs was feeling good. Boom, boom. That's what I started feeling. And I'm like, oh no. Oh, what is it? What is it? What is it? And then he didn't say anything to me, y'all. Say nothing. It took another hour. I'm started back on my Psalms. After that heavy feeling and that burden shut down, oh, I'm back into my Psalm, feeling good. Oh, I can feel the spirit, y'all. I can feel the spirit. I'm just writing all my Psalms and feeling good. All of a sudden, that dog began to bark. Now, the bark was totally unusual. It was a bark of attack. You see, it wasn't his normal bark. It was the bark of, wait a minute, no, you didn't go there. And what that dog was saying in that fierce bark was, you crossed the wrong threshold. You crossed the wrong one. And all he's saying is, as long as you stay on that other side of that fence, you pull up at that fence if you want to. Not only did the landlord pull up at the fence, he opened the fence. He didn't know I had a dog. He opens the fence to go in, and that dog came in a way that showed me pit bulls ain't nothing to play with. The sound of his voice, never heard it like that. Never. He was already on attack. By the time I got out there, he had already bit him. The man was rubbling through the fence trying to get out. But the dog was set in protection mode. In a sense, almost like, Mama, he shouldn't have came across. He should have stayed on his side. And the landlord didn't call, didn't say, I will be by there tomorrow at certain time. Why are you here anyway? And he said some of the disrespectful things, and I said something to him, and I felt so good about what I said because it's long overdue. It's long overdue. And you get out if you can't get rid of that dog. That's what he said. Either the dog go or you. You over here bothering me. I was in peace with my Savior. He was showing Yahuwah. He was showing me how to feel about this Psalms. I was just having a really, how would I say, spiritual moment. And then he come with that feeling. And that's what that feeling was about. Because I have said to you all, and I know a lot of y'all don't really pay very much attention to what I say, but I tell you this, anything come near me, y'all gonna give me the warning. That's what that sorrow and that heavy burden was about. It was preparing you from the inside. So whatever's about to happen to you, you'll be more prepared, Deborah. If I don't do it like that, you'll go back to who you used to be. Praise the mighty Yah. So I'm going to prepare you where I'm at so it can get who you are on the outside in order. And I thought about what I said to him, made so much sense. And I turned away from him and I went on in the house and he run into his car. You see? But I noticed this dog. When he saw me come through the door, that dog back beside me. So his issue was, Mama, he could have stayed where he was. But when he opened that gate, when he came up on that gate to open, I had no other choice, Mama. That's what this dog was saying to me. The way and I sit back and I think about, this dog is really smart, because most pit bulls, it's hard to get them to come down. But this one, when he saw me step out, he stepped back. He didn't step back behind me, but on the side. No more barking, no more aggressive. He was saying that as long as you stay your tail over there, I'm over here. But you come across that fence, that gate again. You see? And when he see me in the midst, he wants to see my relationship with this individual. Is the individual okay with you, Mama? That's what really he's saying to me. That's why he's stepping to the side. Is this individual okay with you? But when you wasn't out here, I didn't care if he was okay with you or not. I chopped his tail. You see? But when I stepped out, he knew how to pull back. I've heard by many males that a lot of them, it's hard to bring them down from that aggressive point when they up that high. But this dog, he came back toward where I'm at, stood right there in defense, waiting to see my reaction toward this man. And he was daring the man to open that gate up again. No, he wasn't coming down wagging his tail slow. No, he was letting them know, I'm still right here. Cross that fence if you want to. You see? So the reason why I'm saying that is, when the Spirit came to me that morning and was revealing that to me, I came back in the house and I was so fierce. I was so angry. I don't want to be threatened. I don't want to be threatened. This man acts like this is a plantation. He got about 150 properties. And he acts like it's a plantation. Whenever I want to walk up to the plantation and say anything or come on it and do, I can't. I told him, come back here again. You won't end up, you won't live. Don't come back to this house. I told him, and he saw that, hey, that woman ain't playing. That dog wasn't playing either when he bit your tail. He got there, yeah, you lucky. Because I was responding to his fierce of his barking. That's what made me respond. Because I had never heard that from him like that. Now, when the mailman passed by, this one particular black young mailman, he has a real bad coming up on the fence, real close to get him, because I think he liked ice, but he likes the roaring of this dog. You see, and the dog ain't saying, they ain't got sense enough to understand the dog don't have no problem with you. He just said, stay back. That's all he said. He ain't saying I don't have no issue with you, but stay back. That's all I ask you. But no, the mailman do it every time. And I told him, you need to stay away from that fence, because you are trying to irritate him. I told him. And he gets a kick out of it. I think he liked the dog, and he liked the idea of how the roaring of and the stand. You know, a lot of these people like the way the pit bull stand, and how when that's how Ice is, he stand, you know, and he stand, but the stand is so stiff, like, you know. So I think that guy likes that, and the way his voice carries, you know, out. I think that, you know, he likes that. That's why he does that. And I asked him not to do that, but I don't like to be threatened. I don't like to be threatened because I feel that there's two ways to deal with threat. That's me in the flesh and Yah in the spirit. I haven't been threatened, but my sister was threatened. And this here, what they used to call, no, my sister was once, and where I used to work at McDonnell Douglas Aircraft, the work to make the fighter planes, that's where I used to work, making good money. But I remember having a man that worked there, and he was in another building. I was normally in the main building, but he was working in, they had closed the main building and transfers up to other buildings. And he was very disrespectful. And everybody, I used to ask everybody, well, why do he act like that? They said, when he don't act like that with you, he only act like that with us. I said, yeah, but he got a real racist attitude. That's what I said to them. And they said, yeah, we've been trying to tell everybody and this and this and this. And this man, he disrespect this elderly Black lady. And that's the time I stepped in. And he was telling me, he's supposed to be a manager. I didn't have nothing to do with it. I said, whether I had to do with it or not, that ain't how you talk to people. You know, I stepped in and I said something. And he come up with this here tough kind of racist mentality. And he pulled up, I pulled up with him, you see. So I didn't like the things that he had said to her. And then when I went to telling him that why was he disrespecting the elderly lady, you know, he went to saying, you know, very nasty things as if a racist European. When I get into situations where it's either me or thee, it's either me or thee. It's either me or thee. If I have to go to a level of, okay, thou see it. Thou see it. That's what I leave. I leave it. Thou see it. Thou see it. And I go to that level of saying, Yah, thou see it. In a sense of letting him know that you see all things. You see where I'm at. You see where I'm going with this. And this particular, I was like off to myself, a loner. And my mom had called and hadn't heard from them, but I was just way on the opposite end of the town, and they on a way on the opposite. And she was telling me about my sister's husband was paranoid, you know, all those drugs and all that stuff. And he was giving her a hard time. And I went before the throne of the Father, and I told him the issue. And at that time, he got shot 4 times. 4 times. And he was in the hospital for 2 weeks, and he got out. And it was about, when he got out, it's an elderly man, like 70 years old. He jumped on this man, 70 years old, and beat him. And his kids, and was looking at, going after him. They was looking for him. But he continued to be this tough, bad, gang, tough man, prison type person. So mom called me and told me he's at my sister again. And what he was saying is he's messing with, threatening her life. He doing things, coming to her job, and so on and so on. So I myself decided, okay, I was heated. You guys. I was really, really heated. And I said to the Most High Yah, I said, okay, this is it. This is it, Father. Either you or me. This is it. Thou see it all things. And before I let him make a move on my sister, either me or thee. Y'all might say, when Sister Deborah, why would you put that before y'all that way? Because I knew that he wasn't going to let it be me, but he knew my heart. He knew that my flesh was heated. Was heated. I said, me or thee, Father Yah. See, when you know who you serve and who you trust in and who you lean to. See, a lot of people think that because you are a servant of the Most High Yah, you just a humble little old somebody. No. When you know who you serve, you don't buckle up and you don't buckle down. You see, because you know who you serve. And when I said to the Father, it's either me or thee, I went on to telling him that thou see it. That's what I tell the Father all the time. Thou see it all. You see what's going on. You see where it's at. Do I have to deal with this, Father Yah? Or must you? It was less than 3 days later. 3 days later, he was over to the Illinois. And when they shot him in his forehead, the bullet that went in and blew up inside his head. First person my sister went telling me when she got to the hospital, they had him on life support because they wanted to see about his organs. Don't go giving nobody his drug organs, his organs. My sister said, what do you think I should donate? Donate what? Nobody don't want that trash. Been on drugs for 60 years and you want to donate this mess. He ain't 60 years old. I think he died like at 49. But still, nobody don't want that. This man been on drugs since he was 12. Why is you gonna think somebody want them organs? No, don't donate his organs. Don't donate nothing. Let them things go. So I went in the back to view, to see him in the hospital, and they had his whole head wrapped all around, and he had blood coming out of the cloth in the middle, and he was on all the machines to keep him alive because they want just keeping him alive because his heart and stuff like that was still pumping, but his brain was blown out. Okay, so they was trying to keep the organs. And when I went home that night, I began to speak to the Most High Yah. When you know where everything rests therein is in the hand of He that has the power over all things. And when it rests there, that's where I trust it. With the man at the other place that I worked, I went on to telling the Father about how this man is speaking to people, the elders, and being disrespectful, as many other individuals said he was there at the workplace. Did he disrespect me? No. He just was disappointed that I said something, because I think he thought I was crazy anyway, because I don't go in laughing with him, talking to him, playing with him. When I say something, I'm looking 100% serious. I don't play that. And I guess that shocked him that I said something. And he went to saying things very negative, just as he was doing the other people that was complaining. They said they went to personnel, they went to management and everything to talk, and they know that this guy's racist. So I went on, and I did. From what I later found out, that his wife, and I think he had a wife and 2 children, they were churchgoers. They were people day and night stay in the church. And I was like trying to figure out, when how could he be the way that he is and they the way that they are? So I just took it to the Father, and I began to tell him the spirit that was on this man, and that I hope that this man doesn't speak to the people in front of me that way, to where I have to respond. I don't even think it was even 2 days. I don't even think it was 2 days. It might not have been 2 days. That was it. He never returned back. He never returned back to the place. Never returned. You know why? His wife and 2 children died that evening in a car crash. He never returned back. So when Sister Deborah knows that the Most High Yah, for sure, you can go before. And if you know that he said that you can speak to the mountain, and the mountain is going to have to move. But you don't understand who he's talking to. He's talking to his. You can say unto the mountain, move out of my way, and it's going to move. That's the power in which Yah has invested in his. One might say, when Deborah, that's burning bread on somebody, or that's no, you don't get it, baby. Life and death is in his hand, not in Sister Deborah's. He give it and he take it away, and what? Blessed be the name of the Most High Yah. The Yah knows that I am his elect, and if I have to go to him with what he already know, he's gonna cover me for sure. He's never failed me. Not to say that he has given me my way, but he has never been one that have not came to my beck and need. Because he knows if I have to come to his throne, I'm coming regarding him and who he is, because I know who holds life and death. I know he who holds the beginning and the end. I know who knows the ups and downs and all around. When I turn it to him, what he does with it is him. But he have said, you can say unto a mountain, be thou removed, and it will move. And the mountain can represent anything and everything in life. You just have to take him at his word and trust that he's the one really moving the mountain. You just holding on the hope and the trust that he is the one and only one that can move that mountain. So it's not something that's bad. It's not something that's negative. Just hold on a little while longer. Just a little while longer. See the judgment of the Most High Yah on this earth today. And just because I spoke it, only one can do it is him. It's been prophesied. It's been said, my judgment on the house. It's been said, my wrath is kindled. My fierce has been put forth. And just because I, the prophet, speak it, does not mean that I am the controller of what he's about to do. So I, Sister Deborah, hope you got something out of it, and believe when he said you shall receive power, that power is backed up from the flow up in belief, trust, and hope that the power is really him. But you're going to receive it because he's going to be in you. See, that's why I say we look at us and me and we and them and they and everybody in the Bible as the power punch. But if greater is he that is in me, how can the power be me if the greater is in me that holds all power? I, Sister Deborah, says, appreciate each and every last one of you all in the live chat, and I will be back. Shalom and shalom.